Let me tell you something. If you'd seen those blue lights flashing in your rear view, you might have thought, like I did, here we go again. Except this time, the two deputies swaggering up to our car had no idea they just picked the wrong old man to mess with. I kept both hands right there on the wheel, like a church deacon at a red light, 10 and 2. You know the drill. And my wife, Evelyn, she's sitting there cool as ever. She leans over and says, "Why'd they stop us, Clarence?" I just shrugged, keeping my voice low. They claim a busted tail light, but we both knew every light on that Buick was shining bright, and in that second, I could already feel how this story was going to go, except, as usual, these boys didn't know the half of it. We just left our grandkids over in Jackson, Mississippi, Highway 84 out of Valdosta, Georgia, Tall Pines, Tulane Blacktop, a road we'd taken for years. Then these two come up, one on each side, the taller one on my side, sunglasses so mirrored you could see yourself hesitate. "License and registration, and step out the vehicle, sir, just flat. No, please, no, thank you." Not even a hint of Georgia politeness. I asked him, real calm, if there was a reason for the exit order. He just chewed his gum, jaw working. "You got a problem following orders?" Then his partner, a bulldog of a man, comes around on Evelyn's side, telling her to keep her hands visible. You know, the way folks get talked to when officers want to make a point. So yeah, it escalated fast. I'm out of the car, hands on the hood, getting patted down while the tall deputy, his tag said Riggins, acts like he's bored. "Where you headed?" "Just coming back from family in Jackson," I tell him. He smirks, looks at my car like I'm smuggling bricks of gold in the trunk, asks if I've got anything illegal. I told him, "Sir, I'm a retired attorney, I know my rights, and I know you don't have probable cause." That stung, he muttered. Smart mouth old man, should have stayed home. Evelyn gets told to step out, too, and she does it like she's taking the bench in her old courtroom, dignified, head high. They search the whole car, every bag, the trunk, find nothing, of course. 10 minutes go by, then Riggins hands me a citation. "Busted tail light," he says, as daring me to argue. I just take it, smiling to myself, because let me tell you, I've spent decades fighting these battles in places scarier than a county back road. Back in the car, Evelyn's quiet for a few miles. Then she says, "They thought we'd be scared." And I just nod, because she's right, they don't know who we are. Not really. She asks if I got their badge numbers. I pat my jacket pocket, every word, every detail. "Good," she says. "Let's remind them." That's the thing. See, I'm not new to any of this. I built courtrooms for a living, took down men with a lot more power than a couple of deputies with a badge and a chip on their shoulder. I already knew this ticket was going to court, and I wasn't leaving the field until the scoreboard changed. Now, you want a twist? Here it is. At the sheriff's station, these two are laughing about it, literally. Riggins, boots on the desk, bragging to his buddy Nash, who's scrolling on his phone, talking about how I tried talking law, like some Harvard professor. They make jokes about my old Buick, like I don't know what a civil right is, like folks like us are supposed to just swallow disrespect and keep driving. They don't know I wrote down every word in a leather notebook, time-stamped and tidy, never pulled my phone, never gave them a reason to feel threatened, just documented the whole thing the way a man does when he's planning the long game. Evelyn and I, we get home to Tallahassee and sit in my study, flipping through notes, thinking it through. She pulls out her old judge's nameplate, sets it on the desk. Then we go to work. I call Rosalind, an old friend who's now in state oversight. She hears the names Riggins and Nash, and her voice goes tight. She'd heard of them, flagged by internal affairs, but the sheriff's office covered it up. She says, "Let me see what I can dig up." That's when I know this isn't just about us. It's about everyone who's ever had to swallow their pride on a roadside while a cop with an ego tried to make them small. Evelyn tells me, "You really want to do this again?" And I tell her, not for me, for everybody else who didn't have the tools. So we dig, we research, we draft a complaint so tight you could bounce a quarter off it. By the time those two deputies get the envelope from the United States District Court, they're so rattled Nash's mouth goes dry. They read my name, Clarence Dupree, retired civil rights attorney, former state prosecutor, active member of the bar, worked federal reform, you name it. Riggins realizes, right then, this wasn't just a routine stop gone wrong. This was a reckoning. We didn't stop at our own story either. Rosalind brings over internal affairs files, prior civilian complaints, even gets us copies of the dash cam logs. We flag the gas station near the stop. Maybe a security camera caught our car, proves our taillights worked. We build a case, brick by brick, documenting every contradiction, every pattern. Evelyn's sharp eyes find the right precedent. Warren versus United States, plus 2 prior complaints against those same deputies. We subpoena everything. The department's lawyer looks at us like he wants to be anywhere else. The morning of the hearing, the courthouse is packed, lines around the block, reporters everywhere. Some folks come because they recognize our names. Others just want to see if justice still exists in South Georgia. Even the sheriff is there, sitting 2 rows back, trying to look invisible. Riggins and Nash show up in wrinkled shirts, sweating, no fancy lawyers, just a county rep flipping through a binder. When it's my turn, I stand up and say it straight. My wife and I were pulled over without cause, searched without reason, insulted without consequence. This is about dignity, not inconvenience. About power, and who thinks they get to keep it. Then I let the evidence roll in. The gas station footage, taillights working fine, time-stamped. Dispatch records, no mention of probable cause until after the stop. My handwritten notes, entered as exhibits. And when Riggins tries to dodge on the stand, I ask him, flat out, which taillight was broken. Can you show me? He can't. Do you have any report of damage? He doesn't. Did you radio in probable cause before the stop? Nope. I even read back the words he muttered under his breath, smart mouth old man, and watch him squirm. Nash, too, he tries to act tough, but I bring up his old complaints, make him answer for things he thought he'd buried. The judge, Marcia Delano, listens to every word, tapping her pen, not missing a thing. At the end, when the closing arguments are done, the judge delivers her verdict, finds for us. Rules that the deputies violated our 4th and 14th Amendment rights, suspends them both pending internal review, orders the department to pay damages, and most important, says, let this serve as a reminder. Badges don't grant immunity from accountability. When her gavel comes down, the whole room lets out a breath. Sheriff slinks out the back. Riggins just stares at his shoes. Reporters crowd around, but I tell them, we didn't come here to make noise. We came to make a point. But you want to know the real ending? That verdict, that courtroom, it wasn't the finish line. 2 weeks later, I'm standing in front of a classroom at Florida A&M's College of Law, sleeves rolled up, teaching 20 young students how to use the law, not as a weapon, but as a shield. They ask me, how'd you stay calm, knowing what they were doing was wrong? I tell them, anger doesn't win cases. Clarity does. Documentation does. And Evelyn, well, she's founding a legal aid nonprofit for people who need real help in places that get overlooked. Word spreads, podcasts, news stories, letters from strangers. One day, I open a handwritten note. No return address. I watch what you did. I'm applying to law school. I read it 3 times, tuck it away. Now, some folks say the law is blind. Me, I say maybe it just pretends not to see until somebody makes it look harder. That's all we did. No shouting. No revenge. Just the law, used right. That's how you change something. If you think what happened here matters, share it, talk about it, because silence never changed a damn thing. But a story, if you let it, just might. You know what I mean?